All right, all right. Welcome, friends, stoners, and canna fans to the latest episode of the Cannabis Chronicles. I hear my boy. What's going on? Say what's up, Billy. Yo, Wild Bill, you got to say something. Are you there? No, where did he go? Where did he go? Where did he? There he is. Is that you? Yo, Billy, can you hear me? It looks like you're muted, bro. And you're unmuted, and you're muted again. So what's going on, bro? I can hear you. I mean, I can't. I can see you're on the channel, but I can't hear you, bro. That sucks, man. I've been looking forward to you being on the show with you, man. What the hell? No good, no bueno. I don't understand. I don't understand. I can see, I literally can see you muting and unmuting. I'm muting and unmuting. Welcome, friends, stoners, and Canna fam. This is the Cannabis Chronicles, brought to you by Starr Enterprises. And I'm Dr. Bong, and I am so crazy, like looking forward to my boy Wild Bill being here, and I don't understand, and I don't know, is it something that I did? Um, and if you can hear me, I hope you can hear me because I can see, because how you confirm you're talking is if you see your avatar and the lips are moving. So my lips are moving and according to me talking into the microphone. So again, opening, welcome friends, stoners and Canna fam. Welcome Wild Bill Walford to the show. We're gonna figure this out. This is the Cannabis Chronicles, and we are brought to you by Starr Enterprises. I am Dr. Bob. And folks, tonight's conversation is about something deeply personal: Alzheimer's disease, a progressive neurological disorder affecting memory, thinking, and behavior. Uh, Caregivers there and caregivers, shout out to you all. Caregivers carry emotional weight. Patients experience confusion and loss. Families watch memories slowly fade. Tonight we explore Alzheimer's through four lenses: business, culture, health, and potpourri. Uh, no, I don't want to find the co-host. They're reconnecting you, Billy. So hopefully you get reconnected and you come back. Alzheimer's disease, a progressive neurological disorder affecting memory, thinking, and behavior. Now, caregivers, we carry the emotional weight. Patients experience confusion and loss, and families watch memories slowly fade. Tonight, we explore Alzheimer's through the four lenses that we usually check out here on the Cannabis Chronicles through business, culture, health, and potpourri. So, education is becoming central to cannabis retail. There you are. I can hear you. I can
You
hear
can
you.
hear
Can you
me?
say something? I can hear you now.
Hello? All right.
Hey, yes.
Fantastic. I don't know what I had to do. I just rebooted and
I
it
saw
wouldn't
you
let me take
reconnected.
mute off.
I'm just happy you reconnected. So we're just gonna start over from the top. You are,
Fantastic.
how's it going, my brother? You good?
Doing good, man. Just excited to be here tonight. Want to talk about
Yeah.
cannabis and cannabis medicine.
And just welcome you back. For folks who are checking out the show, this is the one and only Professor Waffles, and I am your host, Dr. Bong, and it's March 18th, 2026, and we are on the Stereo app. So welcome, friends, stoners, and Canafam. This is the Cannabis Chronicles presented by Starr Enterprises, and I am Dr. Bong with my wonderful friend, my homie. It was good to see you this week, man. It was good to hang out with you for a brief minute. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it
The
was.
one
It
and
was
only.
really great. The fellowship part, man.
Yeah,
We
man.
needed it.
Yeah, man. We just gotta get you. We gotta get you healthy and get you squared away, and then we could do more of that.
Getting there,
The
sir.
warm weather's coming. The warm weather's coming. Although it's a beautiful, crisp, clear night here in the Bronx. How's it up there in Yonkers?
Ooh, crisp is a kind word. It's in the 20s, but it's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Last
So,
hurrah.
I mean, crisp. Like I said, when it crisp for me, let's see. That's what's my not that my definition of crisp is like okay, when you walk out the door and it smacks, not smacks you in the face, but it's like, whew,
Yeah.
it's a definite
Yeah, man.
temperature. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
And I
So,
took the long johns off, bro, to prime myself, so it's extra shock for me.
yeah, man. We are, and for you guys who don't, folks who don't know, Professor Waffles and I, Dr. Bong, are long johns people. I still got mine on, bro. I'm telling you right now. And it takes me a minute to actually stop rocking them. You know what I mean?
I
Like I
know.
said,
You hang out sometimes till like June.
but man, I got cold. Man, I'm not cold, man. I got rheumatism. It's rheumatism,
Yeah.
and I'm cold, man. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know.
So
Me too, bro.
I'd rather be comfortable than uncomfortable. So yeah, man.
Yeah.
Speaking of comfortable and uncomfortable, tonight's conversation is about something very deeply personal. We're talking about Alzheimer's disease, a progressive neurological disorder affecting memory, thinking, and behavior. And caregivers, they carry the emotional weight. Patients experience confusion and loss. Families which watch memories slowly fade away. So tonight we're going to explore it through the four lenses to our show. As you know, Billy, and again, welcome back to business. So
Thank
education
you.
is becoming an essential part to cannabis retail. At MJ Biz, and an MJ Biz Daily article explores sommelier-style training for cannabis staff, helping guide customers through terpene profiles, cannabinoid ratios, and cultivars. For patients navigating conditions like Alzheimer's, informed guidance matters what? It matters.
Yeah, man.
It matters. Because I mean, I think with our experience, we can share our experience. I was your cannabis liaison, your cannabis, patient care consultant.
Yes, sir.
Uh,
I would
when
consider
you,
you my cannabis prescriber at the time because you were educated. You weren't just a bud tender. You were prescribing medicine for me.
yeah. So I appreciate you. I don't think I was you. You had already gotten the certification from your doctor. So what I
Right.
was able
You
to do is help you guide you to the products
right.
and how they will work for you and what they would work for you, and
And I
what
needed
you.
that guidance, Brother Bong, because I only had known cannabis as a tool to get high. I had never
Right,
heard of it as being medicine, especially when I came to you very sick. I came with my license and I wanted to be let's just use the term prescribed for, because I didn't know how to guide myself.
right, and again because the stigma just really, really, is set in with cannabis, especially medicinally. You know what I'm saying? It
Yeah,
is so because the stigma is so tied to almost so many negative things. You know what I'm
right.
saying? So for us to say, okay, let's have a platform where we could talk about it. We could talk about Alzheimer's disease and cannabis. We can bring the story in and, bring it home for many people because, like I said, patients are real people. You know what I'm saying? There's somebody's mom, there's somebody's dad, there's somebody's brother, there's somebody like you, there's somebody like me, because
Mhm.
this disease can set on at any time, and
And it's
it's
real
you
life
know,
impact with this one,
right.
Jeffrey.
Right, right. And so you're gonna hear Professor Waffles call me by a couple of different names. That's right. I am, as he said, he just called me Jeffrey. I am JL Starr from JL Starr Enterprises. We are a medical cannabis or cannabis consulting firm. So you can reach me at jlstarrenterprises at gmail.com, cannabisconsultant at gmail.com. And you can also check us out on the platforms because now what we do is we're taking this bill, we're going to take this Professor Waffles and upload it to the other platform, which is Buzzsprout. And so, shout out to Buzzsprouts. I like them. I told you I like them because, this show is cannabis. Uh, this is obviously, cannabis related. And one of my favorite words about cannabis is buzz. I got a buzz from that.
Mhm.
What's
Old
the
school,
buzz?
man. It's all about the
Yeah,
buzz.
I ain't the youngest motherfucker you're gonna see today. So yeah, you can check us out on not only on Buzzsprout, but you can also check us on the YouTube, on Apple, Spotify. We're on Amazon Music. We're moving up in the world, bro.
Yes, sir.
iHeartRadio and Podcast Index. So yeah, man. Friends of the show, we want to shout out good friends of the show, Best Buds Magazine. So you said you were checking them out. You were liking some of the stuff you were seeing in the magazine?
Oh, it's wonderful, man. It's so
They did a beautiful
interactive, and the
layout.
articles so in depth, man. I just can't put it down. I'm loving it.
And there's so many things to, like you said, there's so many things to find and see because for me, I'm always looking for content. I'm always looking for stuff to
Yeah,
start with to get me started, and then to get that conversation. And I actually get the creative juices flowing for me because it is, a huge subject, and you can get lost in
yeah.
certain things. So
And
shout
the
out to Best Buy.
magazine is very, expansive on all sorts of cannabis related topics, man. That's how you go into a
Absolutely,
rabbit hole. It's so wonderful to sight.
absolutely. And again, and I think that's what this is designed for, because we are. Cannabis is one of those things that, once you consume, some people, like you said, can go into that rabbit hole and can look into. Like, I was deeply into the article about cannabis travel and places where you can actually design a cannabis-based excursion. So, shout out to Best Buds Magazine, shout out to Best Buds Media and Pen Game Publishing. You can check them out, bestbudsmagazine.com. You can check out the vlog, our vlog, Billy. I don't know if you go to the culture section and
Okay.
you scroll down, talk about the culture section in the magazine. That's fine.
Yes, sir.
You scroll down and you will come up on none other than Dr. Bong in well, video form, not physical form, video form. And so, yeah, that's that vlog from the very first. You remember that studio? You remember that studio with rest in peace with Junior. Rest in
Yes,
peace, Junior.
sir.
So
Yeah.
that was
Those are,
with the back.
seems like the old days, man.
Hey man, listen, like you said, it's definitely a step up from where we were. Thankful for that space
Oh,
because
absolutely. Thank you for
it's
those
not a
times. We wouldn't be the men we are today. Getting through all that together. We
absolutely,
got to be
absolutely.
grateful.
So like Billy said, man, like Professor Waffle said, you can check out Best Buds magazine. You get some news. So shout out to DC, James, Emma, and like I said, check out the culture section. Scroll down, and you can see the vlog. And it's the Cannabis Chronicles, going back to those days. I think there's one video, Billy, where and I think you saw these ones where I used to change the color, like I had the color was like rotating, it was like a rotating color,
Yes,
and
yes.
it was kind of like it's like what am I gonna do? But it was fun.
Was
It
that
was
was
fun.
from the boom box, wasn't it,
No,
Brother
it wasn't
Bond?
the boom box. No, I had this. It was the it was the ring light. The ring
Oh,
light
okay.
had that option on it, and so I used that on
Oh,
the ring, and it was just like because I was all stoned. I'm stoned right now. What you smoking on today, by the way? Speaking of,
oh, I'm smoking on a good mixture, the same stuff you're smoking right now. And I'm also drinking a heirloom brand Honey Crisp apple cider infused with 10 milligrams of cannabis.
cannabis, it's supposed
Yeah.
with 10 of the THC, sir.
Yes, sir. Exactly. Pardon me. But the best thing, Jeff, Brother Bong, these things taste like apple cider, man. No aftertaste. A great product. Heirloom Honeycrisp apple cider. 10
Mhm.
milligrams of THC and 5 milligrams of CBD. Nice
Okay.
balance.
Yeah, you got a nice one to one. That's a nice. Like I said, a lot of folks don't realize how good and what a balance is. You know what I'm saying? So we were talking about We Are the Cannabis Chronicles. I'm your boy, Dr. Bond, here with my boy, my homie, the one and only Professor Waffles. And in
Yes,
the
sir.
business segment of the show, we're talking about sommelier style bud tenders. An article in MJ Biz magazine. See if I can be saying Buzz. I'm seeing Buzz. I said Buzz, and I'm seeing Biz, and I'm saying Buzz. So there we go. So so let's take a look at that from take a look at Alzheimer's from a different perspective. Let's take a puff. Let's take another puff of perspective from culture wise.
Yes, sir.
So cannabis culture has deeply has de- excuse me, cannabis culture is shaped by music and expression. A Marijuana Moment article. I came across this article and it made me laugh. I thought about you because we talk about them all the time. It highlights the fact that Snoop Dogg attempted to trademark the words "smoke weed every day,"
Hmm.
which was denied. It was denied
Okay.
because of federal law and culture saturation. What's that mean, bro? What's that mean? I'll explain it to you. So basically, cannabis language has become part of public culture. All right, so which means it's already out there too much, so it can't really. How do you, you know, what I'm saying, how do you claim that? Number one, how do you, how do you, what do you call it?
How
How
do
do
you
you trademark that?
trademark it?
It's too late. I think it's like out there every day, out there every day.
It would be like trying to use the word, trying to trademark mark the word car, for instance.
Mhm.
Everybody has
Also,
one.
also,
Basically the same thinking, right?
also, you can't trademark something that's not federally legal.
Oh, I did not know that. Hmm.
So you can't,
Good point.
you couldn't, so you couldn't sue on those grounds because number one, like I said, it's not federally legal cannabis and cannabis culture, tied to cannabis culture, and then number two, because it's already out there. And you know what? Also, I think this for me. This might be a strong number one. Now, this is something you don't know, folks. Wild Bill and I, we are definitely. You look at our avatars, you can see we're obviously Ebony and Ivory, and we come from completely two different backgrounds. Musically, I educate him on certain things, and musically, he educates me on certain things. Like
Yeah.
one of our favorite groups are the Rolling Stones. I knew them as these certain members, but Billy is the ultimate Stones fan, excuse me, and he has exposed me to a a deeper understanding of the Rolling Stones. So I'm going to give you, my friend, because I don't think you would know this. I'm gonna give you a deeper understanding of that saying, smoke weed every day. Now that
Okay.
smoke weed every day. First of all, I was inviting. First of all, shout out to my boy, Doctor Killjoy Lion. He was a friend. He is a friend. Excuse me, what is a friend on this platform that goes way back to the day when when we first started the program. And the first one of, his tagline was "Smoke weed every day," and so shout out to him. So I was trying to get him to join the show today, but I sent the invitation, but I don't even know if he remembers me. But anyway, going back to what my point was that is a smoke. The song, the line is in a Snoop Dogg song, but Snoop Dogg did not perform that song. Let me perform the line.
Hmm.
This is a cultural puff,
Wow.
and it was a rest in peace to Nate Dogg because Nate Dogg was like the godfather of. West Coast rap. Obviously, Snoop would be, one of the kings of West Coast rap. So the Godfather, yes, we're still talking. We haven't moved on. So Snoop was, like I said, so excuse me, Nate Dogg was the guy who sang a lot of hooks on the West Side songs, and so anyway, he was on that. And he sang the hook, and the hook in that song was "Smoke weed every day."
Oh,
That's
okay.
Oh, but that is Nate Dogg. So rest in peace, Nate Dogg. We are the Cannabis Chronicles. So it just proves that cannabis language has become part of the culture, bro. I mean, you say things, you hear things, and like, I mean, where's the beef? Like, where's the beef goes back in the early days with hip hop, and there was if you remember, like in the late '80s, I think. Remember the old lady from Wendy's? You say, "Where's the
Yeah,
beef?"
right, right.
That totally hip hop culture. That was
I did not
totally
know that.
absolutely because back in the day, a beef was, what was the status? What was the problem? Is there an issue?
Yeah, right,
So,
right. Okay.
so they just used that, and they captured that they used that catchphrase, and they flipped it for the fact that they were selling burgers. So yeah, that
Oh,
word was went that way. So
awesome.
that's where that one came from. So you
See,
see,
you
I am a
educate me on the music all the time, brother. You know, look what you did to me with R&B and Funkadelic. You know, you talk about
yeah,
me with the Rolling Stones. I had scratched the surface on Funkadelic years ago, but you just exploded and brought it back into my life. Now I can't put R&B down, man, you know?
hey man, listen, and it's funny because we had this conversation that 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 music is the soundtrack of a soundtrack of your life. And again, that's just one group. So we just talk about one group, one genre, rock and roll, I guess for you, and for me, R&B, and how they like you said they they intersected,
Yeah.
but I got a little bit of your rock on my side, and you got a little bit of
Yep.
my R&B on your side. So now us being friends and being colleagues and being partners in this whole situation, and us spending so much time together, chopping it up. Like what was the group, man? Was it Public Enemy? It was Public Enemy, right? Because I remember
Yes.
the first like year we hung out, bro. We always played. Public Enemy was always in the background, if you remember
That
that.
was our thing, man, because that was something you and I united on right away because I always liked Public Enemy, but I'd never really searched it out, you
You
know?
didn't know who they were, and you didn't know who they were, and I was like, "Oh shit, no man, no problem, man. This is on my playlist, man. Come on, man. You
Yeah.
kidding me? This is
Yeah,
on my
man.
playlist."
It
And
was
then, and
good
then
stuff.
was good stuff. Is good stuff. Shout out to them. I think they have. I think I saw them. They have some dates. And,
Yeah.
I keep acting like I don't have a computer in front of me. I keep acting like I don't have a computer in front of me that will pull it up. So I'm gonna pull it up. Public Enemy. Like this is what I love. Like
Public
like
Enemy's on the road, so is Bill George Clinton and Funkadelic in different various forms.
okay. So
Yeah,
yeah,
he's
they're all
touring right now.
so they are definitely touring. They're definitely touring.
I think he recently played Brooklyn over the summer. We couldn't
Yeah,
make
man.
it.
But like I said, man, it was crazy because when I saw him when I saw George Clinton, it was what 2019. Like I had to use the binoculars because it was like, where is he? And it was because there's
Yeah.
so many people on the stage, Bill. It was just crazy, 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 crazy,
All
crazy,
right.
crazy.
Yeah, that's the way he rolls, man. You just look for
That
the
was
rainbow dreads, man. You can find them.
Yeah, that's what I had to do. I had to find him. So we are the Cannabis Chronicles. I am your boy, Dr. Bong, and we are a weekly candid cannabis community conversation where we discuss our favorite subject, cannabis. We talked about the article with Snoop Dogg and his attempt to trademark smoke weed every day, and the fact that it got smacked down, and it got smacked down by the government because number one, the word is excuse me, the phrase is cultural saturation is what they called it, and due to the federal law, because cannabis is not legal federally. So, friends of the show, um, I want to move on. We could talk about a couple of, geez, Bill, and I'm sitting here, and you think I was on camera again and being all nervous, but I'm not. Here we go. So, friends
There
of the
you go.
show, shout out to Cannabis Society and Cannabis United Network. If you want to join the platoon, as Bill did, Bill, you're part of the platoon. Billy, I see you in the
Absolutely.
chat. If you want to be boots on the ground, I mean, like just, I mean, because some people want to just be involved.
Yeah.
Just come through and support cannabis, and this is the opportunity for you to be able to do so. So,
Yeah.
the
Be
Cannabis
with us
United.
people who think the same way as you do, you know?
And
And
find your lane. There's a whole bunch of different lanes. You can be an advocate, you can be a
yeah.
communicator, you can be an educator. So, but in order for you to start, a good starting place would be canaware.org. That's CANNAWARE.org. Like I said, shout out to Grizz, Abe, Sam, Star, Nori, Billy, Wild Bill,
Yes,
Paul
sir.
Waffle, real life activism, education, and connection. So check them out. Also, our good friends at Chill Pipes. You can check them out, chillstore.com. And BuzzFeed, they're the same entity and same engine behind it all, I guess. I'm just stuttering. Justin and the crew at BuzzFeed.com. You can check them out. BuzzFeed Weekly. That's one of the information sources that I come to look through and when I'm searching for the week's topics and the week's subjects. And so shout out to Justin. I mean, one day you're gonna meet him. And also shout out to remember Ebony. What was her name? No, my Bong. What's the name of her? I forgot her name. It's been so long
Ebony.
since
Oh, Black
Ebony.
Beauty. Black
Black
Beauty,
Beauty.
sir.
Black Beauty. So you're gonna meet Justin. That's where I got Black Beauty from. It's been so long. She's over at the other studio. We don't work at the studio, so we made an agreement
Yeah.
with this with
It's
12
been a
minutes.
while. It's been
Yeah,
probably a year since you broke her out.
no, because I haven't been there. So it's been a little bit, maybe 7, 8 months. Let's say
All
seven,
right.
eight months. But
Yeah, close.
it's closer. It's closer to a year than not. So we're counting some pennies here. So yeah, so that's where I got Black Beauty from, and so shout out to Justin and his crew and everybody over there at Chill Pipes and BuzzFeed.com. Um, so how you doing, man? How you feeling, man? I know we was talking about stretching, man. We was talking about, you can't wait to stretch. I needed to stretch because I'm telling you, man, as I gotten older, man, like, just like if I lay or fall asleep the wrong way and I wake up the next day, it's like, oh man, something's not right. And it literally, I was, because like maybe about a month ago, right? I was like, man, what's wrong with my chest, man? It feels so weird, man. I'm like checking my heart monitor constantly, like looking at my Fitbit. What the hell's going on? Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. And then this morning, when Miss A went to work, I rolled over and I was laying on my right side, and then I felt the pain. I was like, that's what it was. So I remember that. I was like, oh, I was right. I did the same thing. I laid on the side and I had the pillow underneath me under my right side. And then when I woke
Okay.
up, I felt like it had stretched and it felt weird. And it was a weird stretch in my chest area. And then I was like, okay, and then I said, that's what caused that. So I understand, man, because I mean, you got to deal with your situation. You can't really stretch it. You're a stretcher.
Yeah, and let's just get to the point. What happened? I had cancer surgery last week for skin cancer, and They put a very big incision in me, and thank God the tissue samples came back, clean. I'm going to be all
Yeah.
right, but it's a very huge cut. And Jeffrey knows it's like from my shoulder to my chest, but I can't stretch. And I love to stretch. It's so good for you. And I have 1 week left till the stitches come out. And Jeff, I cannot wait to stretch, bro. It's so good for you because, like we talk about Tai Chi, how the shaking off and getting the blood circulating, it's all part of holistic health, man.
Hmm.
Stretching, deep breathing, cleansing breaths, getting that oxygen into the blood, and I'm getting the oxygen into the muscles.
As
So,
you said that, literally, I'm sorry, I didn't cut you off. My Fitbit started buzzing directly now.
really,
So go ahead. Yeah.
yeah. So I'm looking forward to, that part of holistic health, stretching, and the cannabis also helps me with that because stretching is such a part of my routine. Stretching allows my muscles to relax and my brain to calm down, to stretch and be able to inhale, exhale, relaxed. And sometimes when I don't feel like doing it, it also, if I take say, a sativa strain and I smoke that, I have the energy to get up and do that stretching and those exercises. So the cannabis works in both ways that way for me, but
I would not change the thing you said, man. I would 100% wholeheartedly agree and concur with you, my brother, because as you know, I've been, doing this, helping folks with this cannabis thing for a minute now, and I consider it to be, an honor and a privilege to be able to help folks with something that you would think it would be like, oh, what, but it's like it really is, um, you know what I'm saying?
and we're just scratching the surface of what this plant, the potential this plant has. You know, it's like what they say, we only use a quarter of our brain. We're only using understanding a quarter of the plant, also.
Fact.
And with all new studies, Brother Bong, I really think that we're going to continue to learn more. It's going to blow your mind.
Absolutely. All right, Canna fam. So let's take another puff of perspective. So Alzheimer's involves beta amyloid plaque and tau tangles disrupting brain communication. So research via PubMed Central explores how cannabinoids can influence neural inflammation, oxidative stress, and neural signaling. Now, cannabis is not a cure, but research is evolving. So it's showing folks in this article, it's showing that research shows that cannabis can be or cannabinoids, aka cannabis, can be be beneficial for neural inflammation. Basically, that's just saying brain inflammation,
Right.
oxidative stress. Again, going back to what you said, stress in
Hmm.
the oxygen, and neuronal, excuse me, I'm sometimes I'll have a hard time pronouncing words. Neuronal signaling. So what neuronal signaling is, again, neurologically, neurons, they need to fire to your brain again. And if there's a kink, and what folks don't realize is that if there's a kink in that muscle, and if I'm wrong, tell me to, please help me with definition. But if you have a kink in your muscle, then you can have a kink in your nervous system. So which can then
Absolutely.
have which then have a negative effect on your brain function. I think like one of the things I think a general thing many folks don't realize is that when you have sciatica and that nerve is affecting your muscle, and
Hmm.
folks don't realize that they actually it takes nerves to send the electrons to the muscle to tell the muscle what the body wants you to do, what the brain wants you to
Correct.
do. So if there's a hitch there, a glitch there, that could be a situation that could be a huge problem. We are the Cannabis Chronicles. I am joined. I'm your boy Dr. Bond. I'm joined by my homie. I'm so glad he's up and about. He shared the fact that he had a surgery recently, and we just want him to get better. We always want to make sure
Thank
that
you.
there's positive energy and prayers for you to get better. Of course, bro, you're a brother from another mother. Um, and it was great. It's great doing the show because we want to do content. We want to have stuff. We want to have things for folks because again, as we said before many times, Bill, is that you may not be listening. They might not listen right now, but now that we're accessible. I like that word. We're accessible. More
Mm.
folks can then listen to it later on and glean some understanding from and something that they may be facing, someone they love may be facing because we see all the time is that cannabis medically is not for everybody, but everybody knows someone who could benefit from cannabis medically. And I mean, we hear every day about folks who have Alzheimer's. We talked about the other day, last week. We talked about other conditions. We talked about PTSD. We talked about stress and how, again, cannabis, because our bodies are an intricate, delicate computer machine, whatever you want to call it, master computer, master machine, however you want to phrase it. Um, it has layers, it has levels, and other things influence. One thing influences another, influences another, influences another. And cannabis is just more like you said, Billy just like Professor Waffles just said it. You can tell we're just close friends. We always say it, don't tell his name. Um, Professor Waffles just explained it that it is part of part of what part of what it is that cannabis does is connect us, and helps us in more ways than we can actually see physically. But there's a lot of other subconscious benefits. Is that a good way to phrase it, Bill? Well, Bill.
No, there's more unexplored benefits we don't understand yet. That's what I'm saying. It's more stuff under the surface that we haven't even cracked, you know?
Mhm.
Jeff, if I
I think
may, brother, if I
go ahead.
may, I'd like to add on to what we were talking about the Alzheimer's. And you were saying that about the inflammation and the neurons, the neurological system, how Alzheimer's basically is a real inflammation of that center, and how the cannabis can relax that system and allow non-nerve interference. And I was just thinking about a justification back in the day when they used to call it marijuana, and they said it made you stupid. So right there, scientists have proved that cannabis actually helps the swelling on brain and neuropathy. So it's just so crazy how something that helpful was demonized.
Hmm. But that was because again, big pharma, big pharma didn't get the nickname because they said they want to be called big pharma, and I don't think it has anything to do. It has, yeah, of course, it has a lot to do with certain things, but for me, primarily the big pockets, the deep pockets, and big pharma was big long before it came up with the phrase was coined. So, what is business? To be the titan, to be the top. So we had, this plant that was, and I read an article the other day that there's places that actually grows just wild. Cannabis grew wild. Hemp grew wild in the wild for wild. I say that 7 times
Yeah.
fast. But it grew, and because they're cousin plants, and sometimes hemp plants can have an intoxicating effect. Sometimes can have an intoxicating effect. I mean, we have articles. We gotta get to the archives, so I can, because I want to pull all of the resources of the years that I've been doing the show, because I have notes going back all the way to when it first started,
Wow.
and articles and books, and I want to just be able to correlate that. And I think, with our friend Chuck and Chat GPT, we can correlate that information and then make it, more easily and readily available for myself. But basically, there's just so much information out here, and so we just want to take it step by step.
It'll be a
And
great resource for sure.
absolutely, absolutely, I think I could write a book at this point. Seriously, seriously, because just general tips, from Dr. Bong's tips. So
Yeah,
I
great
think that's
idea.
being published, and we may put that book out. So friends of the show, we talked about the Somali style bud tenders and how they are helping people with Alzheimer's select the right bud, select the right products that may be beneficial for them. We also talked about Snoop Dogg and his attempt to uh, uh,
Copyright.
copyright. Thank you. To copyright the song, excuse me, the words "Get high every day, smoke weed every day." It was denied because cannabis is fully legal and because the phrase itself is now too culturally widespread. So think about that cannabis culture has become so embedded in society that it cannot be owned. Shout out again to Cannabis Society and Chill Pipes. All right, for Canada family, let's take another puff of perspective. Alzheimer's disease affects how the brain functions at a cellular level. It involves the buildup of beta amyloid plaques, tau tangles, which disrupt communication between neurons. Over time, those cells begin to deteriorate. And a recent PubPred magazine explores how cannabinoids interact with neurological pathways. Scientists are studying how cannabinoids may influence neuroinflammation, oxidative stress, neurological signaling, and some early findings suggest cannabinoids may play a role in how the brain responds to inflammation and degeneration. But let's make it clear, cannabis is not a cure for Alzheimer's disease. And also, let me take this time to say, I am not a doctor. I am Dr. Bong. And to play a doctor, we say that we're doctor. He's not a professor. We are, this is our disclaimer, but cannabis is not a cure for Alzheimer's disease, nor is he a professor, nor am I a doctor. This is emerging science, and responsible and informed use is truly, truly essential. Shout out to our friends of the show, Living Soil MDV, excuse me, DMV, must gotta do my license. MDV Gaetano and his team in Rochester, New York, way, way, way upstate, and also BuzzFeed Weekly. We spoke about them a little earlier, kind of jumped the gun. They're both on the same card for me. So BuzzFeed and Justin and his team and the crew at BuzzFeed.com. So, all right, Canada fam, let's take a puff of perspective. So now we come to our favorite, my favorite, your favorite segment of the show, Professor Waffles,
Yeah.
potpourri. Now, cannabis research continues to evolve, and sometimes, and I repeat, sometimes questions people don't expect. Right? So an article from High Times Magazine explores a question scientists are studying. Can cannabis affect male fertility?
Hmm.
What do you think? What do you think, Professor Waffles?
Well, I think that it relaxes you, so
Hmm.
it's better for the sexual
I was gonna
act.
say, doesn't that make a boing, chicka, boing, boing? Doesn't that make it better? I mean, when you relax,
Yeah. So you're
all those.
talking about sexual potency or sexual fertility?
I guess no, that's what it actually it says. Is it science or studying can cannabis affect male fertility? So it's
All right.
definitely
So fertility would be sperm count.
right. So let's talk about it. So the researchers are looking at sperm motility, hormone levels, and reproductive signaling. And the takeaway is the science is still developing, and cannabis continues to interact with more systems in the body than we ever, ever, ever once understood. Like, because I mean, I guess because I remember, wow, Bill, I remember when I was in high school. Shout out to my high school. Shout out to the 40th anniversary. What do you call it? 40th reunion.
Cool.
Um, we just had it. They had it. I wasn't there, but there was I'm wondering if this probably person is probably long gone by now, but he was a security guard, and he knew we was going out on lunch to smoke weed. He always said, "It's gonna make you impotent. It's gonna make you impotent. It's gonna make you impotent." And I just remember that. And so when I saw the article,
No,
I
he really said that, huh?
yep, 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 he sure did. So this is going back because I graduated in the '80s.
Wow.
But yeah, and I tried to remember. I could see his face, but I cannot remember his name. But he was an older gentleman then, so that's why I guess
Yeah.
maybe he's still alive. I don't know, but he would say it's gonna make you impotent, and he knew exactly what we're doing. Although he never, I never had an issue with him. Like there was some security guards and some professors and some administrators that you had to be clear of, you had to be scared, weary of.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
the vice principal. I remember, and I didn't get the picture. And you know what? I was so, I don't know. I should have. There was more things I probably should have just said. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna pay for it. Like my senior pictures, I waited too long to get them. Then I didn't get them in the yearbook, so I don't have a picture in my actual yearbook. I just have pictures of my yearbook of like things that I had did, like football team, swim team, um,
Cool.
school play, that kind of stuff. I was in those pictures, those clubs, but like so I didn't have my actual picture in the yearbook. But um, yeah, man, it was 40 years ago, and I remember like in that yearbook, like it's funny because I have spoken, even though I didn't go to the reunion, I was still close with a few people from there. And when I say to people what I do, what we do, how we work in medical cannabis, that, not more people than not are not surprised.
Right, right.
Because this thing goes back for me that far. Like I remember, one of my first hustles with cannabis was selling $1 joints off my school bus. Rolling up, getting a handful of weed from my
Ours
brother.
was the senior doors was the dollar joints in my high school.
So what made them the senior doors? That was the doors that only the seniors could go in, out, or
Oh,
everybody.
yeah, it was a set of doors called the senior doors. It wasn't by the main office. So it was like you could cut in without going past the front desk. You earned that as a senior, I guess, you know?
Mhm.
So that's where we hung out at the senior doors. There's always somebody selling dollar joints, three seeds and a stem, how it was in those days. In
Yeah, man.
Yonkers, anyway. In Yonkers.
Yeah, Pittsburgh was a little different, and maybe, and like I said, because my perspective is coming from the supplier side. Like again, we didn't have the best, but we had it.
Yeah,
You
man.
know, and like I remember uh like every day before school, like I know at least like freshman year I was kind of goofy, getting high school, cool, getting high school figured out.
Same.
10th grade, I had discovered like, hanging out, and I was my burnout year. Like 10th grade was my burnout year. I
Oh,
don't really
brother
remember
Bong, same, bro, same. Get out my head. Go ahead.
10th grade burn. 11th grade, I was like, all right, I'm about to get the hell out of here. So like, what the hell
So
am I
I got
supposed
to
to do?
pull it together, right? Go
So
ahead.
then because I had like, I'm thankful for theater. And also, you know what? I'm glad I thought about this. I want to spend rest in peace. Um, I would say shout out. I don't know how to say this, but one of the things I did in school, and again, just gonna say, wow, this is so far from what you did. But one of the things I did in school was I used to do the morning announcements.
Really?
So yes, so in junior high school, elementary school, middle school, and at the high school, and I think like it was more like the late end of elementary school, like the junior high school, but the junior high school and high school up to that 10th grade when I started turning to a burnout. I did the morning announcements. So every morning, my wonderful prepubescent voice would come across the PA system and say, "Good morning, Knoxville. Today's date is what is today's date? March 18th, 2026, and I am Jeffrey Starr, and today's weather is da, 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 da. But one of the teachers who encouraged me as a young student, we lost her this week, Mrs. Mathis, Miss Mona Mathis, uh, sixth grade, seventh grade English teacher, and I had been doing it, but I didn't take it seriously. And she challenged me to take it seriously, you
Now,
know.
were you
And
high when you were doing this, Brother Bong?
no, 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 no.
Okay.
And at that point, like like I said, I didn't like I said, ninth, 10th grade was when I started the burnout. That's when I stopped doing the
Oh, I
mortgage.
get it. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's when I stopped doing that kind of stuff. Because like, and they knew that I was, burnout now. So it's like, yeah, how you gonna be on it? And
Well, that was my question.
I'm quite sure that there are a number of students who went to the to the faculty and was like, hey man, he's a stoner. Anyway,
You would have sounded
I,
like Venus flytrap back in the day, bro, if you were high doing it.
that was God rest his soul. That was my older brother, my
Oh,
brother
really?
Wesley. Yeah, what? My brother Wesley was a DJ on in Pittsburgh, WYEP college radio station out of the University of Pittsburgh.
Cool.
And so yeah, that was his thing. I was more of the roadie. My thing was for that side, for the DJ side, I could set up the equipment. I had set up his equipment, hook it up, help him hook it up. And when he needed to take a break, I could spin a couple of songs for that. But my thing was when um I diverged because I love theater, I love acting, I love church. But because for me it was for church and the church choir, and we always did the what they call the passion plays. Passion plays are
Mm,
plays based on stories of the book of the church, of the Bible, Easter play, Christmas, that kind of stuff. So that's where I fell in love with performing on stage. So that's where my love for that diverged. So I definitely had the DJ in the family. But yeah, so rest in peace to Mrs. Mathis. And deepest sympathy to her children, both Robin and Jay, and from myself and my other my fellow students. We send our deepest sympathy to you. And yeah, but she was, man, she was so. I don't know if you had one of those teachers, man, but she was tough, man. She was a tough teacher, and she challenged you, and she challenged you to your face, and
mm,
she made you accountable. I feel like I remember seeing a movie years later, of course, about Lean on Me with Morgan Freeman, and the show, the movie was based on this high school, or yes, high school principal, and when I saw the movie, it just made me think about Mrs. Mathis. So
mm.
rest in peace to Mrs. Mathis, because like I said, you have to challenge. I think this is this stays in the cannabis conversation, is that you have to be, we have to be upfront. We have to be vocal. We have to talk about the fact that yeah, it's great medicinally. Yes, cannabis is awesome. However, it can help people. It can help you relax. It can help you feel better, and it can help you and individuals improve the quality of their lives, because that's the
Right.
most important thing. And as we search, as we get older, you know how do we how do we intersect that? How do we deal with what it is that we are, and our health and our healing. And one of the things is that the takeaways of it is that and we talked about this in High Times magazine, is that it, it, the science is still developing. Cannabis continues to be interactive with so many different functions of our bodies, besides our reproduction, besides our mood, besides our stress, besides our, the fact that, I think when you, going back to what you talked about stretching, when you can relax, when you can get a deep relaxation, because sometimes some cannabis, for me, give me that deep, relaxing feeling. where I can say, okay, yeah, I can enjoy the stretch, or as you said, I'm motivated to stretch.
Right.
And again, going back to your comment, I mean, how beneficial something as simple as stretching can be for us. Hey, what's up, Subi? Welcome back to the show, folks. That's the puppy of the show,
Uh,
puppy Subi.
Subi, yep, yep. He's been quiet
Subi.
through the whole show.
Yeah, he's very quiet because usually when
Yeah.
we did the studio there, he would be in the show, right? He'd be up in the audio, up in the. Oh my God, how many times am I going to say up in the studio with us while we were recording the show? I get so excited because I heard my buddy Subi. So give him a pat from Uncle Jeff.
I
So
will.
you know, so the cannabis continues to interact, and like I think remember what our shout out to our friends from Happy Hounds. Remember Happy Hounds?
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
and dealing with the cannabis, talking about cannabis as medicine. It also is medicine for our animals. And Subi is one of the recipients of that relaxation.
Yes,
Shout out to
sir. It was
Johanny.
CBD chews for dogs, and it's good for their skeletal health, you know? So it's calming. He's excitable. He's gentle, but he barks at everything that goes by the house. And
Mhm.
a couple of CBD. It's basically not. Yes, it's cannabis, but it's specifically CBD, and it really relaxes him. It doesn't get him stoned, but it just chills him.
And I mean, because again, you said it earlier, the tip of the iceberg has just been touched. It hasn't really been, really fully
Yes, sir.
uh, examined and understood. But again, this is my understanding and that's it, the intersection of human and animal consumption goes back further than cannabis. For me, it goes back to I used to have dogs. I love dogs. I love, and I was a dog owner, and I had a chocolate colored, dark brown pit. Her name was Destiny. And
Mm,
with dark dogs in the summertime, she would get these heat patches where she would get like these dry spots on her coat. And because she was a short coat dog, it was really noticeable.
mm,
So a friend of mine, shout out to Tony, another dog owner, dog breeder, said to me, "Yo, man, put in her food an egg and a vitamin E tablet." Okay,
mhm,
so I put in her food. I always mix it up with dry and wet. So I had a mixture of wet, threw the egg in there, threw the vitamin E. Dog loved it. I'm gonna tell you, Billy, within 30 days, her coat was the most beautiful coat. She never had the dry patches again. She
wow.
never had issues because of the vitamin E. Because what do they say? Vitamin E is good for what? Your skin.
Yes, sir.
So that understanding of the intersection of our medicine and their medicine goes back to then. That was pre 2000. That was 90.
Wow.
That was 90.
Yeah, I do all
So
that for Subi, my dog, who's a Shiba Inu, and he has three coats. But I give him an egg once in a while. I give him certain essential oils, all for his fur health, his skin. You have to treat him like you would a human being.
exactly, and that's my whole point is that so again the things that are good for us can be good for them. So shout out to our friends again. Shout out to our friends, another set of friends, Big Gas Worldwide. Big Gas Dispensary. Shout out to them. You can check them out at biggasdispensary.com. If you're in the New Paltz area upstate, a lot of friends upstate. If you're in the New Paltz area, you can check them out at their dispensary in New Paltz. And shout out to Reem and his team at the dispensary. Shout out to Pen Game Publishing and DC and the team over there in Atlanta, LA, and Pittsburgh, and us in New York because we are formed. We have formed. We've done a what do you call that? Transformers to form a company, a entity. We're working on it called Best Buds Media. So that's going to be the
Fantastic.
magazine, the podcast, and everything. We're building this, and just so thankful to be part of this. So shout out to DC and the team over there.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to you, Wild Bill, man. I'm glad you're better. I'm glad you're better. I'm glad you're better. Canafam, let's take another puff of perspective. The cultivar spotlight this week is Harlequin. Now, before we close tonight's episode, it's time for our cultivar spotlight. Tonight's cultivar is Harlequin, known for its balanced CBD to THC ratio. Profile is often associated with calm focus, gentle relaxation, reduced psychoactivity. So reduced psychoactivity just basically means you're not going to get super duper stoned from it. It's going to give you an elevated experience, but you're not going to get super duper stoned because CBD does uh, uh, lower the psychoactivity of THC. So if you want just a mild psychoactive medicine, a mild psychoactive strain, try Harlequin.
Hmm. Interesting.
Because the balanced cultivars have like Harlequin. It's often the cultivars like Harlequin have often been discussed in medical cannabis conversations, especially for patients seeking clarity without intensity. Yo, wow, Bill, man, thank you so much. We'll go over a little bit today, but Alzheimer's disease remind us something powerful. Memory is identity. Connection is everything. I love our connection with you, man. I love the memories we share with you, man. You're my boy. You're my brother. Like I said, from another mother. And compassion.
Absolutely, my good friend.
Okay.
It's a wonderful thing we do together, sir. And I'm honored. Yes,
I look forward to it. So, cannabis may not be the answer for everyone, but research continues. Conversations continue. We want you to join us for our conversation next week, where we talk about our next subject. And the next subject is diabetes and how cannabis can be effective, can be beneficial when you're talking, when we're dealing with diabetes. So this is the Cannabis Chronicles. I am Dr. Bong. I've been joined today by my homie, my friend, my brother, Wild Bill, aka Professor Waffle. So
yes, sir.
we want you guys to stay informed, stay intentional, stay lifted responsibly. So good night, friends, stoners, and cannabis. Peace.
Good night.